Today, we're going to take you along on the most incredible 8-day trip around Croatia, where we spend countless hours soaking in the sun, walking around ancient cities, eating delicious foods, and swimming in crystal clear blue waters. We'll be visiting all of the most popular islands, sharing our exact itinerary and why you should add Croatia to your summer bucket list right now. Most people travel from Dubrovnik to Split or vice versa. We decided to start in Dubrovnik, which we're so happy with because what an epic little town it is. A place where medieval history meets Mediterranean summer vibes, and also made popular by the incredible series A Game of Thrones, where Dubrovnik is the set location for King's Landing and where dozens of iconic scenes were filmed. It's a must-visit place for any fans of the show.
We have arrived in Dubrovnik and this place is so special. It is so beautiful. When we arrived, we took the airport shuttle that does 2 stops. First to the old town and second to the port cruise. We've decided to book one night here at the port before our cruise starts, just to explore the city a little bit more in depth. And if you're here just for Dubrovnik, then definitely stay in the old town.
By far, the most popular thing to do here in Dubrovnik is to walk the city walls behind me. The cost is around 35 euros and you can do the walk in about an hour. Huge tip that our host gave us though is that you buy the Dubrovnik pass, which is also 35 euros, and you get a whole bunch of other things like public transport, access into museums, and discounts on a whole bunch of other stuff to do here in Dubrovnik.
Are we going to walk the walls of Dubrovnik? I'm not sure. It's an absolute scorcher today and we've heard that there's zero shade on the whole walk, and we also saw 2 huge cruise ships in the port, which means there are going to be huge crowds on the wall as well. So I don't know if we're ready for that. So let's get exploring more of the old town. We've made it inside the walls, and I must admit, Dubrovnik is exceeding every expectation we ever had of it, and it honestly, just like Venice, feels like a theme park. It does not feel real. It is so beautiful here. And behind me are some fountains. Water is totally free and drinkable here, and apparently these fountains in specific are holy water fountains.
Fountains.
Definitely having a sip of that.
Have a little holy water.
Quick lunch in the old town. Beautiful little restaurant in the cutest little alleyway. And we're going to try a Dubrovnik famous dish that literally speaks to my heart and my stomach. But this is a Korcula style macaroni, or a dirty macaroni as it's known, and it's just basically macaroni cooked in a beef stew. And chow, that sounds like it's my kind of dish. As we mentioned before, Dubrovnik was literally made famous by the Game of Thrones series, and there's so many film locations throughout the whole Old Town area. Behind us are the Jesuit steps, and literally, I'm sure if you've watched Game of Thrones you recognize these stairs. We all hated Cersei, but dude, that scene was pretty intense. It was when Cersei was made to get naked and walk down the stairs, and people chanted shame, shame, shame. Yo, it was hectic, guys. And if you are a big fat Game of Thrones fan like Rhett is, you can actually book a Game of Thrones tour, and they take you to every single filming location, and you can feel like you're in the series. I think it's pretty sick. We'll put the QR code on the screen now of the best rated tour. we just have to come and check out the local beach here in Dubrovnik, don't we? And we actually saw this from the bus ride. Here we are, and it's so stunning. Can't wait to dip in the sea and just have some sun, because we actually haven't had a lot of sea and sun on this trip in Europe.
I'm just always excited to try and swim in different waters. So this is the Adriatic Sea here. Looking forward to it. I'm wondering if it's going to be cold. We're already on to our second meal of the day, which is from Holy Burek. It seems to be some kind of a sausage roll. Very yummy, €7 each, but it's a nice little snack to bring to the beach. After our little break at the beach, it was time to head to our final stop on our day out in Dubrovnik, a cliffside bar on the city walls that used to be a hole in the wall kind of place, but it definitely is no longer. It's super popular and a lot of fun. Right, so this is Buza Bar. Very cool little place to come and do some cliff jumping. You can grab beer, some wine, some drinks, watch the sunset, do some swimming. Clary's gone for a little dip. Quite busy here, I must say, but it is a Friday afternoon, so yeah, good vibes.
But that was hard to get out. That was fun. I loved that. Just very busy and full of young, cool people there to have a good time. So that's your vibe. Go to Buza Bar. I liked it. For dinner on our first night, we decided to get some more of those bureks, and this time we got to actually see how they make them. It's a super interesting process. We jumped back on the bus and ate our dinner watching sunset on the pier. It was a magical first day. The breakfast of champions in Croatia under a nice bougainvillea tree. What more could you ask for? Was literal views of the yachts. Just sitting here on the steps, went to the grocery mart to get some stuff. And look at our view. And guess what? We're getting onto our cruise soon. Yes, we're going to have lunch on our cruise and we're going to start sailing to our first island. We are on a Sail Croatia amazing cruise for the next 7 days. Cruising Croatia is the #1 thing to do here, so we had to give it a try. And considering it's our very first cruise, we're pretty damn excited. So we have made it onto our boat, and let's give you first and foremost a little tour of our cabin. We are lucky number 8 and our room has the most insane views. Let's go inside. First thing I noticed was this desk area is super cool. If you're a digi nomad or a remote worker like Rhett, you've got a fantastic desk to work at with a nice chair. We've got lots of storage in this room. And then we've got 2 single beds. This is actually very spacious. Even the bathroom, we'll get to that though. We've got beautiful linens. They've given us towels. I think this is a sheet. We've got extra blankets as well. There's air conditioning and heating in here, like a central system, which you can control over here. Turn it on and off or whatever you want. Very cute lighting for when you want to relax in your cabin and read a book and watch the views. How beautiful. Lots of storage. So we've got space for a medium check-in and a small carry-on luggage, and then of course another small carry-on luggage. We've actually got 3 backpacks, so one's underneath here and then 2 are in that little cupboard over there as well. Then here at the desk area we've got the smallest little TV. Oh, it's so cute. But let's go and check the bathroom out. Super impressed with this bathroom, in all honesty. It's a bigger bathroom than the guest house we just stayed in Dubrovnik. We've got a toilet, we've got a beautiful sink here. They give you soap, toilet paper and shower gel. But that's basically it for our little room tour. We actually have our first swim stop of many. You have a swim stop every single day after brekkie. So let's go. What a beautiful little swim we just had at the back of the ship here with mountain views. There's so many floaties on the boat for everyone to float with. Pineapple rings and little macaroni tubes. I'm going to take you upstairs so you can see what it's like though. And this is a Sunday. Wow, we're so high up. There's so many lounges and chairs for you to relax on and sunbathe. The water is actually slightly chilly. It's not your Southeast Asian waters, but it's so refreshing. Not too cold. But yes, see, what a great first stop. There's also turquoise waters in the distance. Wow, stunning.
Alright, so first couple of moments on this boat, fantastic. We got a little safety briefing, we got introduced to all the staff. We then had a lovely lunch, which started off with a caprese prawn salad, absolutely delicious with fresh tomatoes. The mains was zucchini risotto, grilled sea bass and a hollandaise sauce, and of course dessert, chocolate cake, which was so moist. Every day we get a breakfast and a 3-course lunch on the boat. Very excited. The food has been so good so far. We're also being treated to 2 dinners on the cruise. We've got the captain's dinner, and he also mentioned a Balkan barbecue. So I'm guessing it's going to be their Croatian form of a braai, which I'm very excited for. Clary already showed you guys the top deck. Then there's the saloon or bar and dinner area. Bar area sells beers, cocktails. There's even a happy hour at 7 I think or 8 p.m. Cocktails are €8 then, and you can buy coffees, so you can get espressos or cappuccinos. And then there's these water dispensers on the boat, so you can just take as much fresh water for drinking and hot water for tea as you want. And then there's about 15 rooms on this boat. And I think I counted around 30 or 26 people on the boat with us. So it's a medium-sized group, but absolutely people from all over the world. And it's been lovely to meet everyone. Just wonderful vibes.
We're currently cruising to our next spot, which is Mljet Island. And Rhett and I grabbed some coffee and cookies, and we're doing some work here. The rest of the boat are pretty much on the sun deck, sunbathing and relaxing. This is their vacation. We are YouTubers, so we've got a bit of work to do, but we'll join them soon. And then we will be arriving at Mljet Island, where we will have our first Croatian dinner. Woo! It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
We're here. Oh, Mljet.
Wow guys, this little island looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait to get off and explore and go and look for something to eat for dinner. How's your balcony views?
I love it. There's seagulls everywhere. There's a tiny little village with so many cute restaurants on the water. The water's so blue. It's so pretty. I think everyone on our boat has actually gone out for dinner already. What time is it?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. So we've docked here in Mljet in the harbour, and we are having our first dinner. Our boat gives us a whole bunch of recommendations for dinner every evening and in every single town. We've chosen this Melody right on the water. Such a beautiful vibe. And they've got pasta, pizza, seafood, everything. Croatian food is actually very Italian, actually. Lots of pizzas and pastas and all sorts of stuff that you find back in Italy. So we're in our element. We finished up dinner, and actually Croatia is not as cheap as what we thought it would be. But the food quality is really good and portion sizes are really good, so that's a perk. Anyway, we've come back to our boat, and I just wanted to mention, whenever you dock at a place, they always line up the boats like sometimes you can be just 2 boats lined up, sometimes you can be 7 boats lined up, and you have to like walk through the boats to get to yours. It's so interesting to see the other boats. But yeah, that's it for the first evening of our cruise. Tomorrow we are exploring this island more, so we're very excited. Good morning, it's our first breakfast and it's actually fantastic. They listed it as bread and spreads, but there's like everything you need. Croissants, scrambled eggs, sausage, hams, cheeses, all sorts. Fruit, cereal, coffee, orange juice. What a great way to start the day, because we've got a bit of a hike today. We're going into the National Park of Mljet. So we've entered the national park. It's a €25 entrance fee, and there's a couple of things you can do here on the island. You can do some kayaking, you can do bicycling around the island, or you can just walk like us. And we're about to catch the ferry to a monastery that's on an island on the island. So it's an island within an island. Our guide literally just told us that these lakes were voted in the top 10 most beautiful lakes in the world the other day by Lonely Planet. How insane. This is absolutely fantastic. I've just been sitting here, sunbathing, relaxing. It is so peaceful here. You can just hear the sounds of bugs and just people chatting in the distance, having a good time. Rhett went for a run around the national park. I'm about to jump in and test this water though. I'm in my element. I love this.
A little bit slippery to get in and out because we've come to the rocky side, but what a wonderful time to just relax, have a beautiful run. I ran all the way back to the monastery and back. People are cycling. It's just a great vibe. I must admit that was an absolutely fabulous day on the lake, and we're about to have our second lunch. Chicken wrapped in bacon, ham and cheese, red wine barbecue sauce with some salad and fries on the side. How fancy.
Starter was a basil pesto pasta. Fabulous. Really looking forward to all the meals here.
Yeah, the food has been amazing.
Yeah, they're looking after us.
Also slept really well in the cabin. It was very, very comfortable. Once we parked the boats and all the boats are lined up next to each other, there's literally no rocking at all, so we had a very peaceful sleep.
Oh, this is going to be such a good cruise for mental health, relaxation. I'm loving it, guys. We have just docked at Korcula Island. Each island we visit on this trip offers something different. So Mljet, where we just were, was all about its beautiful lakes and its nature. Korcula, where we just gotten to, is famous for being the rumored birthplace of Marco Polo, and it's also very historically and culturally rich. And then for my party animals, we haven't gotten to Hvar yet, but that island is where the party's at.
So time to explore Korcula, and I think our first stop is going to have to be Marco Polo's house. And then later, up there on top of that castle wall, there's a bar, which I'm hoping we can get to and go and have a drink.
I can't. Such cool stuff in here. This is a Marco Polo shop.
€8 to come in per person. We thought let's have a quick walk around and learn a little bit more.
As you know, we are world travelers and our biggest inspiration in this whole world was Marco Polo. No, I'm kidding. I actually had no idea who Marco Polo was until this week. And we all grew up playing Marco Polo in the pool. Turns out he was like the coolest traveler. He went to China, lived there, made huge wealth. We've got maps all over here, original freaking photos and stories he told. He wrote books of all his adventures. I think it's just epic. If you love travel, you'll love this museum. Marco Polo set out on the journey with his father and uncle while still in his youth at 17 years old. He spent a total of 24 years in distant foreign countries, acquaintance with various foreign customs, religions, languages and principles of life, changed his general picture of the world, and he gradually became more tolerant of the unknown and the different.
We found the most original form of the travel vlog right here, just written down by Marco Polo. Marco Polo's manuscript is one of the most famous travel logs in history and was in the possession of Christopher Columbus at one point in 1485.
Marco Polo is the world's most famous traveler. His famous journey described in the Book of World Wonders was of global importance and remains highly relevant today. With the knowledge gained in the Far East, he helped connect the continents. This is the very top of the rooftop and there are stunning views of the island. And nice touch, they give you some binoculars.
And for €5 you can buy a ticket to go up this 16th century bell tower. And the steps are super narrow. Oh my goodness. Wow. And this was used obviously as a bell tower to let everyone know what time of day it is. But also to look out for enemy ships coming from the east, from Dubrovnik, especially the Turkish army. Korcula was a little island and they were very concerned about defending it back in the day. Oh my goodness, some of these areas are so narrow, I can barely fit. Okay. Wow, beautiful views from up here. Hi. What a beautiful little town and island to get lost in. You can just find any little alleyway littered with little souvenir shops, wine bars. It's just beautiful everywhere and it's so quiet. It's like way less touristy than Dubrovnik was.
I think this island is my favorite island so far. I love it.
Beautiful.
It's so cute. An ancient turret. What the heck? Oh, I'm wearing a skirt.
We just had a drink on top of Massimo, a castle turret. How freaking cool is that? And now we're having a beer, watching the Euros while the sun sets. Vibes could not be better.
Honestly, guys, woo! Everything is perfect. Yo!
Good morning, it's another day in paradise. We've just had a beautiful breakfast and now we've actually stopped at our second swim spot. We're going to be here for 3 hours enjoying this beautiful cove, crystal blue waters, lots of floaties and paddle boards to enjoy before heading to our next destination, which is actually on the opposite side of Korcula to dock for the evening.
For all of our scaredy cats, luckily in Croatia there's no scary animals that you have to worry about. There's no sharks or stingrays or whatever. There's just tiny little jellyfish in the water, but they'll hardly hurt you. They'll give you a little sting and then you have to put vinegar on it. Don't worry, this water is super chill. Everybody had such an incredible night last night on Korcula. I think it's everybody's favorite island so far. We were lucky enough to be here for their New Year's celebrations and it was lit. People are feeling a little rough today.
Greetings!
Greetings from Vela Luka.
Vela Luka means big port. It's on the other side of Korcula Island, and some say it lives in the shadow of Korcula town itself because it doesn't have a museum, it doesn't have a lot of history or famous people that lived here, it doesn't have a castle, but it's still a cool place to explore. There's a few things to do here. They've got the longest mosaic in history. It's a pathway along the promenade. There's also a big cave up in the mountains and an incredibly beautiful beach, which we aren't going to visit today because we've got a lot of beaches to visit in the next coming days, but we will link it on the map now. It's a 4.9 rating and the waters look absolutely beautiful.
They say Vela Luka is a very artsy place, and that reflects in this beautiful mosaic that the community has designed together.
Yeah, so every evening you'll dock at a different place and go out for dinner. Dinners are not included in the cruise, so you got to find your own dinner to eat. Last night's dinner was at a fancy restaurant in Korcula town itself. Very highly rated, but I can't say the meal was that great. And it's really strange because we've been having some not so good meals at the restaurants here in Croatia, but the food on our boat has been blowing us away, so we're a bit confused. Good morning!
Hiya, good morning!
It is a bit of a busy day outside. I'm getting some work done at my desk here. Sorry if you can't see me. Outside it is cloudy and raining. There was a bit of a rough sea this morning. We got delayed in leaving for our next island. So we actually only left at 9 a.m. instead of 6 a.m. So we got a bit of a sail across these roughish seas, but it's not that bad really. It's not shaking the boat too much, so I'm sure Clary won't get sick. Yeah, we're heading to Vis and hopefully the weather clears up because it's known for its most beautiful beaches, and we'd love to hire a scooter and explore the island this afternoon.
I'm in a tricky situation, but you know. Tricky situation.
By the way, Australians say you know, and in South Africa we say uno. You know. You know. You know. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm in love with this. This place is so cute.
By this place, Clary means the town of Kormisa on the island of Vis. I think it's our third island. Beautiful stop. Lots of restaurants serving pasta, pizzas.
This is quite a big island, and they say the best way to explore it is on a scooter. So we are right here in the town. We've been recommended a scooter place. It's 40 euros for 6 hours. And let's go straight to the beach because that is what Vis is known for. Wow, it's so beautiful here. It's so lekker being on a scooter on a small little island in Croatia. This is what we love the most.
Just waiting for the sun to come out. It's been obviously it was cloudy this morning, but it looks like it's going to be a great afternoon.
Very excited. Welcome to one of the most beautiful beaches we've ever been to. What on earth? This is Staniva Beach here in Vis. It's one of the most beautiful beaches we've been to, but also one of the most difficult beaches.
Definitely. The walk down was a bit treacherous, so definitely wear good hiking shoes because it's very loose rock. and you can stub your toe and trip, so just don't wear any sandals or any of that kind.
It's literally a hike to get down here. Totally worth it though. There's a bit of a bar going on here. You can get a beer and just chill.
As with all European beaches, it's pebble beach again, no sand, so you got to get used to that. It's a bit difficult to get in and out on your feet, but otherwise beautiful.
It was about a 15 to 20 minute drive from the main town up the hill and then the trek down. So give yourself a couple of hours honestly to do this. Oh yeah, and we're also going to be swimming through those cracks soon.
We're gonna try. I think you'll chicken out at some point.
Well, we made it up to the top. There was no easy climb back up, I must admit, but the beach was definitely worth it. Definitely come before, I would say, 5:30 p.m. because it's completely in shade now. So yeah, midday I think would be perfect because the whole beach will be sunny and blue and stunning. Definitely bring snorkels if you've got them because underwater looks super cool. Really love that beach. It's now time to head to Vistown, South African.
Alright, we are back home in our town of Komiza where our boat is parked. We spent the afternoon exploring the whole island of Vis. We drove through the beautiful vineyards on our way to the town of Vis, which is another town that you might end up docking in if you come on this cruise and you stay on this island. We're actually really happy with our little town here on the other side of the island. We had to come back because we were running out of daylight and we were getting really hungry, and it just looked like there were some nice restaurants on this side of the island. There's a lot of kiddies having a little soccer match in the square here. But yeah, beautiful day, lots to do, lots of fun. So gonna hit a nice pasta for Clary and a beer and watch some soccer. During lunch we walked past and I saw they've got big pasta servings, and I said, Clary, big pasta servings?
This is huge and I'm starving. I'm so happy. And I think I'm gonna order a €2.70 glass of wine.
Why not, eh?
Why not? Well, that was the biggest pasta I've ever received in my whole life and it was so good. It's the Ragu, definitely recommend getting it. And then I got a glass of house white wine because this island is, their specialty is white wine. So I had to try €2.70. Not bad, not bad. I'm loving every second. This is great. And I'm obsessed with this little town. It's very cute. Good morning. It is another absolute day in paradise. This morning we were up at 6:30 a.m. We had plans to go to the Blue Cave on Vis. It's like one of the best things you can do. It's like a tiny cave. You duck down in a boat and go under, and then the whole cave is turquoise blue. But unfortunately, the motion sickness yesterday got the absolute best of me, so I was not feeling well this morning, had a huge headache and was extremely dizzy, so I had to skip. It's like €18 or something per person to do. It takes only about 20 minutes, usually when there's no crowds. And yeah, everyone loved it so much, I'm kind of bleak we missed it. But had, once again, another fantastic breakfast, and today we are going to probably the best island on this whole trip, and that is Hvar. Hvar is known for its insane nightlife and beaches. Everyone's so excited, but first we've got, of course, a swim stop. 1, 2, 3, go! Somebody got stung by a jellyfish.
Already? Is that why you're out?
Yeah.
Welcome to Hvar, the fourth island on our Sail Croatia cruise, and probably the most famous. It's been put up there with Mykonos and Ibiza as one of the best party islands in Europe. Needless to say, we're super excited to be here and to start exploring it.
It is so popular that Jay-Z apparently frequents this island on the yacht, so it's a vibe. This island is so popular that we cannot park our boat in the dock yet, only later this evening, and so we had to take a water taxi from our ship to land. They've dropped us off here, said good luck guys, have a great time. It's so super hot and there's so many people, lots to do here as well. So we're gonna explore until our boat docks, get back on, get changed out, and then go out on the town because Hvar has some of the most popular, beautiful beach clubs in the world.
As you get off the boat, you'll basically land in this square, which is supposed to be the biggest square on the Dalmatian coast, littered with little shops and a lot of restaurants, place to get lunch and dinner. Taking a quick 20-minute walk up the hill, very chilled, leisurely one, not too strenuous like some of the other ones.
Very beautiful views.
But you come up here for the Spanish fortress, which has a couple of interesting artifacts that they found on boats in the bay, and there's a prison here to check out, and basically the best view over the whole city of Hvar. So beautiful.
You can see all the surrounding islands from here, all the boats coming in. It's lovely. It's actually all shaded, which is stunning for a summer's day. Highly recommend coming up here and seeing the view.
Entrance to the fort is 10 euros per person. It's up to you whether you want to go inside or not. We just came to have a look at the view and take a nice little walk. One of my favorite things here in Croatia is the quaint little alleys that go up the hill, and some of them even have little restaurants that you can sit at. Hvar is quite similar to Dubrovnik, where it has those little restaurants up each alley, so just get lost exploring and find a nice place to eat. Very romantic. Something to keep in mind though when it comes to the stairs is luggage issues. Taking your big bags up and down these stairs can be one of the hardest things about your travels. So it's always something we tell people when they're traveling, is to keep in mind how much you're packing, how heavy your bag is, because the heavier it is, the harder it's going to be going up these hills, and that can make travel very tiring and challenging.
The thing about Hvar is it's a very popular spot, so even if you're not on a cruise, you're going to end up here because you have to add it to your list. So if you do stay here in one of the hotels, keep that in mind. There's also a direct ferry from Split, so one day in the future we might come back here to Hvar and you can just fly into Split and then catch I think it's like a 3-hour ferry over here. We saw hordes of tourists with their luggage coming in here. It's super popular, and if you got your own yacht or your own boat, dude, this is the place.
Not a bad place to spend the night.
Yeah.
Just look at these beautiful restaurants, tables set right here on the water. Amazing. There's such a cool vibe here.
Guys, look at the size of this little boat. Oh, isn't it sweet?
Love at first sight, perfume is drifting down the cool breeze, dance of your hands.
I'm starting to see why Hvar is so popular, especially from the beaching point of view. There's so many cute little beaches along. There's a wonderful promenade, lots of trees, lots of benches. It's very, very beautiful.
So during the day when you're hungover, good vibes at the beach. At nighttime, lit vibes at the beach bars.
Just don't know how to lie, and how to lie, how to lie, how to lie, oh no, how to lie, how to lie, oh no.
Like the waves and the water just come right up to the tables.
It's literally a beach bar. Beach bar.
This is a beach bar. This is an actual beach bar confirmed.
Well, Hula Bar is such a vibe. Highly recommend. It's actually getting so much more busy now that the sun is kind of on its way to setting. So many cool people. You can swim here. It's like €40 for a day bed, but you can come and just drink at the bar basically. And everyone's planning on going to Carpe Diem tonight, but it only basically starts at midnight, the party. Please guys, in what world?
Our boat is the first in the line. Usually boats line up one after the other and you'll have like 6-7 boats in a row. We've never been the first one, so we're definitely going to be hearing all the people coming home drunk tonight.
Fit check. It's actually a little later now. We just freshened up, had a power nap, and the sun sets really late here in Croatia, so it's like 8:30 p.m. now. It's time to head out for dinner. We are on a Sail Croatia Explorer cruise. It's really for anyone that doesn't want to party. 1000% recommend coming on these cruises. It's been phenomenal, really, and we've met so many awesome people. I think we're gonna make friends for life. And the staff are just wonderful. The food, the islands we're visiting, just fantastic, really. Tonight we are giving Croatian street food a try. No, I'm joking. It's not even street food. We just wanted a quick bite, and we got potato and chicken like pies. They're called bureks here. We love them in Dubrovnik, so we got here. And it was only like €11 for 4 pies, so super chill. We're gonna take it back, go back to our boat and pre-drink. I mean, Rhett's pre-drinking. I'm just there for the vibe.
What are we doing tonight?
We might go to the club, maybe. By the way, I have to show you our neighbors. A bloody super yacht. This thing is 500 and something thousand USD to rent per
640.
week. 640 per week. That is insane. Good morning. Last night was so much fun. Actually, we ended up at the Nautica bar with everyone and had a few drinks and danced a little bit, and then the group headed to a famous beach bar or beach club called Carpe Diem on a private island. You literally have to catch the ferry over. It's a €40 entrance fee, but like there are huge celebs that go there and huge DJs. So a couple of the group ended up there. It's amazing. They said they loved it. I got clubbing out of my system years ago, so definitely not. It starts at 12 or like starts to pick up at 1 a.m. and everyone got home at like 4:35 a.m. No ways. Anyway, it's early in the morning. We've had breakfast and they've already stopped at the swim stop because I think they know everyone needs a cold dip in the sea, like right now. Well, that's strange. Not a single person is in the water today. They're too hungover. Not this one though. Goes partying until 4 a.m. and then wakes up as perky as hell. Freaks me out. We've got psychos on the boat, yeah? Every day on the boat, after breakfast, we stop at the most beautiful swim spots. We stop here for like between 2 to 4 hours, and it's just such a great way to relax, get some sunbathing in, grab a drink, get the floaties, and just have the most incredible time on these blue waters. And it's every single day. This cruise has honestly been such a good balance between relaxing, enjoying the summer, as well as sightseeing. Today, everyone's on the water with the floaties, hungover as hell, and we've got some super yachts joining us today as well. Jet skis, foils, freaking these other jets pulling them along. Everyone's just loving their summer this year, or every year, I guess. This is what Europeans do, eh?
So we've docked in Stari Grad, which is still on the island of Hvar. It's actually just a 25-minute drive by car to get to this little town. A far quieter, more peaceful, relaxed town. I think we've stopped here so that people can recover from last night's antics. This part of the island is known for its wine, actually founded by some sailors from the Greek island of Paros, who decided this was a really good place to do some farming. The soil here is very rich, so basically anything you plant does grow, including grapes, which this little town is known for. So you can go on a wine tour if you do stop here. A couple of our crewmates did go and enjoy some wine tasting. I'm sure they had a beautiful time because I think it takes place in the vineyard itself at the famous Stari Grad Plains, which is an actual UNESCO World Heritage Site.
First stop here in Stari Grad is the fortress of a poet called Peter Hektorovich. Hold on, let me say that again. Peter Hektorovich. He was a poet, a famous poet, one of the fathers of Croatian literature, and this is his home that he loved so much. It's so well preserved, so much so that they've got all the utensils and cooking items and pottery and all sorts that used to be in his kitchen right over here. The pond over there is full of the same mullet fish that were there in the 16th century when he lived here, and he dedicated his whole life to this home, and he designed it all himself with people from the village. I think it took 40 years for them to build this. It is a sanctuary, honestly. And he's written all his little thoughts and quotes all over the walls here that are quite special. I'll read some of them for you. Remember that neither the riches nor fame, beauty nor age can save you from death. That takes all. He once wrote about his home, I must go back there, for it is calling me home. I don't blame him. It's an absolute sanctuary, and in fact, I think my home is calling me. I miss my little home as well. Home is where the heart is, but also it's just so nice to have a little sanctuary to retreat home to. And those goals.
If you're an avid runner or cyclist, this island is perfect for that. I've seen so many people actually do cycling tours, so they have all their bikes on the boat, then they take them off and they go for a cycle through the hills here. And similarly for running, there's beautiful promenades in all of these cities. So I've been on a number of runs and it is just so peaceful running next to the water. There's loads of little restaurants that you can dine at, but we've actually got our captain's dinner tonight, so we're gonna head back for that. Should be a lot of fun.
Man in charge of this saloon, Branko. Thank you very much. Enjoying Captain's dinner.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Split, our final stop on this cruise. We have already had our last swim stop, and I won't even lie, could have shed a little tear. Everyone's feeling a little sad. It's been absolutely fantastic. We've all gotten along so well, and yeah, it's pretty sad that this is our last full day together on this boat. What a way to end this trip in Split, Croatia's second largest city. It's looking grand. Wow, I won't even lie. It's looking quite posh. When the big cruises are here, you know what that means. Lots of people. Are you ready for Split?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
I don't know. Sightseeing.
We are exploring Split now. We literally were 150 meters away from the old town with our boat parking, so we just hopped off and walked in here within a minute, and it's so beautiful and old. I think it's about 2,000 years old, and we've got the bell tower behind us.
We've just been strolling around the Diocletian's Palace. It's the first building that was ever here in Split. It's absolutely massive, and the original...
Wow.
Excuse me.
Thanks,
Seagulls.
paid actors.
And the original walls of the palace and the wine cellar is still very much here and well preserved. We took a quick stroll in at the cellars and they explained to us that it's one of the most preserved cellars and palaces in Croatia, and that's because it was all covered with sand and the sand absorbed the moisture in the cellars, and yeah, that's why it's still well preserved today. If you're a fan of architecture, you can go in there. It's an €80 entrance. It's an €8 entrance per person. But the rest of the palace is free to explore, and I must admit it is very beautiful. It's like quite rustic, and also a lot of Game of Thrones episodes were filmed here, by the way. I'll put a picture on the screen now of the scene where the Queen of Dragons was captured. Behind us is the Cathedral of Saint Dominius and the bell tower. You can climb up there if you want for 360 views of the whole city. We've already climbed up a bell tower though, so loved it, but it's kind of claustrophobic, and if you're not a fan of claustrophobia, then probs don't go up there. And heights as well.
The Romans actually founded Split, and you can see a lot of that in the architecture. Even the bricks that the Colosseum was built with, similar bricks are found here in Split. You also get the Roman arches and pillars that are common, so it's very beautiful. It kind of feels like you're walking around a small Roman city. And obviously the Venetians were in control of this area at some point in time, and I can really tell their influence. The alleys are so small, I feel like I'm walking in Venice again. There's cute little restaurants on every corner. It's very beautiful. You must come and visit. And as if there was any doubt, we got some actual Romans here.
There are tons of people here.
Of course, Split isn't just known for the old town. There's beautiful beaches dotted all along the coastline. This is Bakviš, very popular, nearest beach to the town, only about a 10-minute walk out of the old town. But I wouldn't call this a beautiful beach compared to what we've been seeing on our cruise so far. It's quite average, but obviously it's very popular because it's a beach anyway at the end of the day. Carrie's going for a dip.
Anything for a dip, guys. But yeah, there's graffiti everywhere in construction, and there's only a small little slither of sand there, which sand is a luxury. If you find a sandy beach in Croatia, that's a luxury, dude. So
True.
I'm gonna have a swim.
I forgot to mention, this city was actually founded, like I said, by the Romans, but because of the sulfur hot springs, which we can actually smell the sulfur smell
Stinky
in the air,
egg.
the stinky egg air. But yeah, there was some hot springs, and obviously Romans love their hot baths, and that's why they decided this would be a nice place for a city.
As we've mentioned before, when you come into port, they stack all the boats together, and generally you kind of want to be closer to the shore, but not right on the shore because of all the crowds and the drunk people at night and making noise. But this port by far in Split has had the most ships and boats we've seen during our whole time. There's our boat there, the Tempera. We're number 2 of like 7 boats, which means 7 boats or 5 boats worth of people come through our boat to get onto shore. So it's lit here, guys. Split is lit. Let's show you what it's like to get to our boat. This is quite a fancy one.
You obviously have to walk through other boats so you get to see what they look like.
You look left and right, see where the door is. Jump.
You gotta mind the gap.
Yeah. Welcome aboard the Tempera.
Well, like we said, we're number 2, so this is our boat.
So if you're on like the 7th boat, you'd continue going. Chuk, 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 all the way through all the people's boats. And this is ours. Look how many there are.
We're obviously in one row of 7. There's about 7 rows of 7. There's a lot of boats in Split right now. It's crazy. Oh, and we forgot to mention, in Split there are a couple of optional excursions you can do. So there's canyoneering, and there's also zip lining, and there was also a walk. But some of the group went canyoneering and zip lining, and I believe they're around 70 to 80 euros per person. We do have one more thing to do, and then we're going to grab some dinner here in the town. We're trying, as the sun sets, to make it up Margin Hill, one of the things to do here. And that's a beautiful hike with a viewpoint of the whole city. The sky's gone pink behind us. It looks so beautiful. But we've got 300 steps to get through first.
La mente torna indietro al nostro primo incontro. Storia a lieto fine come in un racconto. Ti dico che sei bella e tu scherzi, ma quando mai? Dove siamo adesso?
We made it! Just a little late though. But
Beautiful,
it is
nonetheless.
so beautiful, so totally worth it, and it's not even difficult, just 300 steps. It's really not that bad. It sounds worse than what it is. There's an observation deck and a restaurant up here, so you
Nice,
can treat yourself to...
A nice cold drink.
Yeah.
La notte con te si scalda in cielo.
Okay, so it's dinner time and we've decided to go with something really authentic and Croatian and kind of like street food, and our tour manager from our boat, Vichko, recommended this place called Canton Paulina, and it has the longest line out of it. We waited in the line and we got them. This is cevapi in kapunja, I think?
A pizza bread.
In a pizza bread roll. Yeah, it's just little sausages or like meatballs with some onions, some salsa looking stuff and cream cheese. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Let's taste test.
How's that?
It just tastes like a hamburger, really. Like a really fresh, tasty hamburger. And it was only €7 each, which is expensive to us, but it's cheap for Croatian standards. So yeah, definitely come here, just like everyone else.
One thing you can't do is sit down anywhere in Split and eat food on the floor. So I don't know, I guess we can just walk and eat. Maybe that's okay. They're very strict here with rules like don't wear bikinis. You must always be wearing a t-shirt. What is the other one? You can't drink in public.
Drink
You
in
can drink
public,
outside of the bar, just in the front, but you can't drink in public. So there's apparently like €500 fines if you do any of those things wrong. So just note that that's not just for Split, that's also for Hvar and Korcula and all other places too.
Our time in Split is coming to an end and we're strolling through the old town again, and it is such a vibe. There are so many cool bars and restaurants and like cocktail bars, and it's just so cool. This feels so awesome with all the old buildings and all the DJs and cafes and cocktail bars inside the old buildings. Highly recommend staying around here, getting a cocktail after your street food and just enjoying the vibe and strolling around at nighttime.
With that being said, our time in Croatia has unfortunately come to an end. We've had such an incredible time. Hope you guys enjoyed the series, and we will see you in the next one. We're heading home now.